Hi, and welcome to Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky. Welcome to Cocktails with the Lab Team, and you're with us here in our new chromatography lab in the Eagle Rare building here at Buffalo Trace Distillery. I'm Drew Hirsch. I'm a product development technologist here at Buffalo Trace. I've been with the company about 2.5 years, and I have a master's in food science from Purdue University.
Hi, I'm Ford Childs. I'm a product development scientist. I've been with the company about 6.5 years, also a master's in food science. We like food here. And so we're gonna make some cocktails today. We have 2 cocktails, both super delicious. We have Night Moves.
So I'm gonna be utilizing Wheatley vodka in mine, and then we have a summer sour that Ford is gonna make for us.
Yeah, which is gonna use Buffalo Trace. And make sure to take pictures of your cocktails and make sure to tag at Buffalo Trace Distillery and hashtag cocktails with the trace. And if you take pictures of them, we're gonna do a little drawing, and whoever has the coolest picture or most interesting will have a chance to win something from the gift shop.
That's exciting, Ford.
Yeah, without further ado, let's make some cocktails.
Let's jump into it. So I'm gonna start out first. So like I said, I call this cocktail Night Moves. Shout out to Bob Seeger. And we're gonna be utilizing Wheatley vodka here in this one. So if you're following along at home, we're gonna be taking our shaker here and putting ice in it. Ford, would you mind filling that up with ice for me? About halfway. So fill it up about halfway with ice. And while you're doing that, you can take your vodka here, and for one drink, we're gonna use 1.5 ounces of vodka. Thank you for that, Ford.
Yeah, I feel like Wheatley's such a good, it's just super smooth. It's got some good sweetness, like I think like nougat is kind of what I always think of when we taste it.
Yeah, it's a little more complex than some of the other vodkas you get.
Custardy, it's super, super good.
So I'm gonna be making a drink for Ford and myself here. So you'll see me pouring twice as much as I'm telling you. So following the Wheatley vodka, you're gonna add 1 ounce of simple syrup. So I have stirring simple syrup here.
And this is basically what, equal parts weight?
Yeah, so you can make this at home as well. So this is gonna be, if you do a cup of sugar, it's gonna be a cup of water, put it on the stove, heat it up and stir it, and you can make that at home for yourself. So like I said, 1 ounce of the simple syrup. So that goes in the shaker as well. And then we're gonna do a 1 ounce of lemon juice as well. Ford, could you hand me my lemon that I cut there with the lemon press? Yeah, right there. Yep. Yeah. Can you hand me the lemon press as well?
Yeah.
So we're gonna throw that in there. If you don't have a lemon press, you can just do it with your hands. Just watch out for the seeds. Already pre-squeezed a little bit of lemon juice here, so we're gonna add a little bit more.
Watch your
Making
eyes,
a mess, yeah.
Get in there.
And so we're gonna add 1 ounce of that to our shaker. And so this is really gonna give you that fresh citrus. You can really tell the difference between fresh squeezed lemon juice and lemon juice that you buy in the store. So once we have that, we're gonna pop the top on, put on the lid over the strainer, make sure you hold that down so you don't spill, and we're gonna shake it. So you shake it for about 10 or 15 seconds, just until it gets cold and your arm gets a little tired. So then you're gonna pour that into your glass. I recommend a highball glass. It just makes it look really cool. So like I said, I'm making 2 here, so I'm gonna split this between the 2. But you can just go ahead and pour everything that you have into 1 glass. So following this, we don't like to dirty up too many dishes. So we're gonna use the same shaker here. So you're gonna add 1/2 ounce of Mr. Boston Creme de Cassis here.
What is creme de cassis?
So creme de cassis is a liqueur, so it's got a lot of sugar in it, but it's also black currant. Okay. So it's a fruit that, it's a little tart, it's a little sweet, so it just gives you a little more complexity in your cocktail. Yeah, it's got
like a lot of like thiols, which are kind of a sulfury, yummy compound, almost like tropical. I mean, thiols are in tropicals a lot too. Yeah. A lot of our favorites.
That's a good anecdote. So you're gonna add 1/2 ounce of that.
Thank you, sir.
And then on top of that, we're gonna add 1/2 ounce of black raspberry. So this is a little on the sweeter side, some chocolatey notes to it.
Yeah.
So just again, a little different taste to it. So both of these are really gonna play well against the fresh citrus and just give you a little bit of like juxtaposition to that. So as before, we're just gonna pop our top on, get your cover for the strainer, and shake it again. So just about 10 seconds here just to get a little bit cold. And so here's where the fun begins. So you're gonna take your bar spoon that you have, and then what you wanna do is hold it in the glass right at the top of the liquid, and then pour it right on top of your spoon, and it's gonna drop down the side.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna go to the other glass now.
Looks really cool.
So this is a little party trick you can do at home for your guests, make you look like a real life bartender. And like you know what you're doing, but really it's super simple. You're just pouring it onto the spoon.
So can you use like any spoon, I guess? Just so you have a running
You can
kitchen?
use any spoon. Bar spoons are a little more shallow
Or does
than
that have to
others.
have a buffalo in it?
I would recommend this. You can find it in the Buffalo Trace Distillery gift shop. So if you want to impress your friends and look fancy, that's always available for purchase. Doesn't this look pretty, Ford?
It does. Looks really cool.
So you got your tartar fruits on the bottom, your lemon juice and vodka on top. And then what I like to do is take some sparkling water, just drop that on top to dilute it, and it mixes it up for you and gives you this beautiful, like,
Yeah.
kind of smoky midnight look.
It's cool.
And that's kind of why I call it night moves.
Yeah. Probably lightens up the cocktail too.
Oh yeah,
Putting
it
that
makes it a little more drinkable.
seltzer
And then
in it.
you can take a lemon peel,
Yeah.
just pop it on the side like that. Or if you want to, mint would work too if you just give it a little clap.
Yeah.
Oh, well that one fell. So I'll take this one. It's not the most beautiful. Oh, we're just gonna get rid of those. They're not
Yeah.
working. But
Can
for,
we drink it yet?
oh yeah, of
Nice.
course, it's drinking time. So
Cool.
cheers.
Yeah. That's freaking good.
Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, as you can see,
Yeah, it's got like a lot of like super fresh raspberry kind of.
yeah, all those fruits are playing off of each other.
Yeah, like
You got some,
blackberry kind of from that cassis. That's really
yeah,
nice.
some darker notes, the lighter notes of the lemon. It's really
A little
refreshing.
tart, a little sweet. Yeah, it's super good.
Now, about my cocktail.
Yeah,
I want to see yours.
Let's go ahead and jump into Buffalo Trace Summer Sour. So we're gonna be making this with Buffalo Trace, which is really like, I mean, we chase bourbons all day, all the way from, you know, our super premium. And really, if you really ask people in the lab, like Buffalo Trace is kind of their favorite. And I think it's just, it hits a sweet spot in the maturity and oak, and it's a little sweet, a little complex. It's got like a little rye, so it works really well in cocktails, as well as, you know, obviously drinking it straight is delicious too. So
Not to mention, it doesn't really break the bank. You can find this
Yeah,
at a
oh, yeah,
reasonable price
totally.
anywhere that you find on the
it's
shelf.
really like, I mean, it's probably the best value out there in bourbon. So
Yeah.
and that's not just us being here.
Yeah, that's not.
Because we've tasted all of our competitors too. So anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and make it's a summer sour. So it's a riff on a sour, where a sour is usually kind of a citrus-based cocktail, and a lot of times people put egg white just because it looks super cool, and I like to do that at home too. So one of the things.
Ford, one question. Why not use the yolk?
The yolk, I mean, it just has a lot of like lipids and fats in it that just don't really foam up very well. Because a foam is, not to get too sciencey here, but basically you have all these proteins and they get real long and stretchy, and then they wrap around all the bubbles. So when you shake them up, you get a really like nice stable foam. And when you do egg yolks in that, it doesn't really do that. So anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and start here. And I'm gonna try and make this as if I was making it for a crowd, because I know for me, when I have parties, I tend to like make these really complex drinks and really complex foods, and I end up just running around, and it's just not super fun for me.
Yeah, you don't get to enjoy your own party.
So over the years, I've learned like I can maybe prep some things ahead, maybe buy a couple ingredients, and in this case, I'm trying to buy some super high quality lemonade rather than squeezing lemons, because I could squeeze 100 lemons. And when I make cocktails for myself, or if you're just making one, you know, feel free to use lemon juice. And you can, in this cocktail, you can use about a 1-to-1 ratio of simple syrup to lemon to replace lemonade. But there's so many fast food places now that are doing really high quality, fresh squeezed lemonade. So it's a pretty good substitute. So that's what we're gonna use here. And then also to put a little spin on it, summer spin, we got peach juice, which again, you're welcome to juice a peach, but in this case, found some really high quality peach juice at the store.
That's smart, makes it easy.
Yep. Egg whites, same thing. You can separate 100 egg whites if you want to. If you're making a single cocktail, just use egg whites. This one is actually pasteurized just from a carton at the store, and surprisingly tastes just like the other ones.
Perfect.
Maybe the foam's not quite as like dense, but you know, it works really great. So, so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the ratios are 2 parts bourbon, 1 part lemonade, 1 part peach juice, and then we'll do 1 part of the egg white. So let's go ahead and get started. So we got 1 part bourbon. I think I actually said 1 part, it's 2 parts. So 2 parts bourbon, so that was 200 milliliters. 1 part of the lemonade.
And when he says parts, he's just talking about the ratio.
Yep.
So however much you decide to make, however much bourbon you do, just do half of the lemonade.
Yeah, and it makes it really easy to scale too, because you can kind of figure out your total amount of drinks and how much, and then you can just divide by the parts, and it just makes it really convenient. So you don't have to have special measuring devices. Like this could be 1 part, you know, anything that you want.
Yeah, you can use a cup or something like that to be your parts.
And I'm actually going to transfer this because this is going to be my shaking vessel later. You'll see. So what I'll do with this kind of juice blend and the bourbon is I'll go ahead and stick that in the fridge with a lid, obviously. And then you can do this, you know, 5-10 hours before the party, whenever you want, and just put it in the fridge, let it get cold. And then right before people come over, you're going to make your drink, just pull it out of the fridge, and then we'll go to the next step.
So you could prep this the night before your barbecue.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take our egg white, and we're going to do 1 part egg white. And we're just gonna pop that in our shaking vessel. So you just wanna use something that's about 2 times bigger than all the volume of your cocktail. So, I mean, I even have tried this with like a gallon jug, and you can just shake in there. So, there's my lid, yeah. So I'm gonna take this and shake it for about 15 seconds to get like a nice foamy kind of thing going on with the egg whites.
Oh wow. You can already see that changing.
Yeah, so see how foamy?
Very cool.
Yep. And then you basically get your glasses ready. And the other thing you can do with your glasses is you can throw them in a tray like this and just throw them in the freezer and get them like pre-chilled. Then we'll dig for some ice. You don't need tons of ice, but just a little bit to dilute the drink, and also just to get it a little bit colder. So you're gonna pour in your juice mixture into your eggs and your ice. You don't have to shake it real long here, just enough to get it combined. Maybe 5 seconds or something like that. And then you go ahead and just pour it out. You want to do it pretty quick so that the foam is relatively similar between the glasses. If there's a couple little ice chunks that fall in, that's all right. If you want to use a strainer, you certainly can if you don't like the ice. Or you can put less ice and just shake it until it kind of dilutes out. So anyway, we got our nice foam. And then I like to put just a fresh herb from the garden. In this case, basil's, you know, really bumping right now. So it just looks really nice to put just a small basil leaf on top. And with this, you don't, I know with a lot of cocktails, you want to like muddle or bruise the herbs. But in this case, there's some enzymes in basil and some other herbs that smell brown if they're not like immediately immersed in liquid, and you'll just get like that kind of brown smell on your cocktail. So I like to just take fresh leaf straight. And you also do mint. That adds a little bit like of a spicy kind of minty character to it. But basil's really nice. But feel free to use rosemary or thyme or like a rose petal or anything, you know, cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, these smell delicious.
Yeah.
Can we try them already?
Mm-hmm. Cheers.
Oh wow, that's delicious, Ford.
Yeah.
I mean, you can You can taste the freshness of the juice, and then we still have that Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Buffalo Trace, you really get that coming through still.
And like I said, it just looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, again, like floating or sinking the liqueurs.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something that you can do to really impress your friends if they don't know how to do it. Make you look like a real life bartender.
Yep. And again, like I said, feel free to scale this as big as you want or as small as you want. You can make, when I was at home, I was making it something this small and doing like 1 ounce of each part. But you can make a gallon of it and just shake it in a big container. So anyway, I think that's pretty much our cocktails, and we hope you guys really enjoy them. And make sure to, if you take pictures of your cocktails, which you definitely should, make sure to tag at Buffalo Trace Distillery and hashtag cocktails with the Trace.
And if you come up with any twists on these, something that you think, put your own spin on it, make sure you tell us in your comments there. So
definitely.
We can try those too. Thank you for joining us with Cocktails with the Lab. It's been our pleasure to show you our cocktails, and we hope you all enjoy them. Forward one last cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.